Have you ever wondered why some people seem healthy, yet suddenly pass away too soon? It's not because of accidents and not due to terminal illnesses, but because of small, everyday habits that silently shorten their lifespan without them even realizing it. After the age of 60, our bodies become more sensitive and vulnerable than ever before. Just a few poor choices can lead to long-term consequences. And the surprising part is, many of the most dangerous habits are actually considered normal. In this video, we'll reveal 8 seemingly harmless habits that may be quietly stealing years from your life, along with practical solutions to help you protect your health starting today. Subscribe to the channel and watch until the end so you don't miss out on information that could change the rest of your life. When it comes to sleep, many people think that getting 7 to 8 hours a night is enough. But after the age of 60, it's not just about the quantity, the quality of your sleep becomes critically important. You may have spent 8 hours in bed and still wake up feeling exhausted. This is not uncommon. Sadly, many older adults accept this as an inevitable part of aging, not realizing it's quietly stealing years from their life. Poor sleep prevents the body from properly restoring itself. Cell repair, hormone balance, and emotional regulation all happen most efficiently during deep sleep. But if your night is disrupted by nighttime urination, underlying stress, or even just the habit of scrolling on your phone late at night, you're missing out on this precious recovery window. Over time, your immune system weakens, memory begins to fade, and your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even Alzheimer's increases silently. I once spoke with a 73-year-old man named George. He told me he woke up every morning feeling like he hadn't slept at all. After a deep conversation, we discovered he carried constant worries about finances, his grandchildren, and his wife's health, worries that made him feel breathless at night, though he didn't even realize it. Once he started practicing a few deep breathing exercises and writing in a journal for 10 minutes before bed, his sleep transformed. He not only slept better but also woke up feeling sharper and more optimistic. You see, the way we treat our sleep is often the way we treat ourselves. You don't need sleeping pills. You need to learn how to be kinder to your mind before lying down. And if you're watching this video thinking, "But I sleep fine," ask yourself, do I wake up feeling truly refreshed and mentally clear every day? If the answer is no, then it's time to treat sleep like the free longevity medicine it truly is. Fourth habit, not allowing yourself to have a goal. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But the truth is, after retirement or once people pass the age of 60, many fall into a state of drifting. They no longer have clear goals or feel like they're moving forward. And this can be dangerous. When the mind has no reason to strive, the body starts slowing down too. This sense of aimlessness doesn't just affect mental health. It triggers biological consequences, from decreased dopamine levels to hidden depression. I remember a woman named Teresa, 69 years old. She used to be an elementary school teacher, loved her job, loved her students. But after retiring, she began to feel lost, unsure of what she was even alive for anymore. It wasn't until she started tutoring kids in her neighborhood for free that she truly came back to life. Her eyes sparkled. Her voice regained its energy. She said, "Now I'm not just living, I'm living for something." A goal doesn't have to be big. It can be as simple as growing a vegetable garden, writing a memoir, learning to paint, or even committing to call a family member once a week. The point isn't whether it's useful to society or not. What matters is that it gives you a sense of purpose. And that feeling, according to many studies, can extend your lifespan more effectively than any nutritious food ever could. Fifth habit, sitting too long and too often. You might not think your favorite couch is your silent enemy. But science is clear. A sedentary lifestyle is one of the deadliest risk factors for early death, on par with smoking. After age 60, every hour you spend sitting still raises your risk of blood clots, slows down your metabolism, and disrupts your body's ability to regulate blood sugar. The problem is, most of us don't even notice. We sit while watching TV, eating, reading, scrolling, and think, well, I walked for 15 minutes today, that's enough. But no, your body isn't designed to be still for that long. Just standing up and walking around for a few minutes each hour, stretching, or doing light chores can improve circulation and reduce the risk of stroke and heart issues. If you can't go for a walk every day, try setting a light reminder every 45 minutes, just to prompt yourself to stand up, breathe deeply, walk around the house, or do a few stretches. It may sound small, but it's the small, repeated actions that create big differences over time. And remember, age doesn't take away your ability to move. Inactivity does. Sixth habit, ignoring small signs from your body. A slight backache, a fleeting sense of dizziness, a mysterious bruise. After 60, these small signals often get brushed aside. We're used to toughing it out, thinking, I'm just getting older, or I'll sleep it off. But that's one of the biggest mistakes. Your body is trying to communicate, and if you don't listen, you could miss a golden opportunity to stop serious illness before it develops. I once heard a geriatric doctor say, most severe illnesses don't begin with anything dramatic. They begin with silence and neglect. Sometimes just one routine blood pressure check could save your life. One blood test. One honest conversation with your doctor about the little changes you've noticed. And never be embarrassed to ask questions, voice concerns, or request further testing. That's not being paranoid. That's self-respect. Backhand index pointing right. If you've made it this far, thank you for investing time in your health and future. Don't forget to click subscribe and turn on notifications to keep receiving valuable insights in upcoming videos. What's coming next? The final 3 habits may surprise you the most. And they also carry the power for the deepest transformation. Stay tuned. Fifth, ignoring your own emotions. You may eat healthily, exercise regularly, and go for routine health checkups. But if you ignore the quiet emotions building up inside, you're neglecting a vital part of comprehensive health care. Because emotions aren't just something you feel for fun, they are important biological signals, an inner heartbeat that reveals how you're truly living. Many older adults often believe that negative emotions are just weak thoughts, something to be hidden away. One person once told me, being sad doesn't help anything. I just need to be stronger. But in reality, strength doesn't mean suppressing everything. It means having the courage to listen to yourself. Unacknowledged sadness can quietly erode your inner world. Emotions that are repressed for too long don't simply disappear. They seep into your sleep, your breathing, your behavior, and your relationships. You may find yourself becoming more impatient with loved ones, struggling to sleep at night, or just feeling empty, even though everything seems fine. I remember a woman named Marjorie, 81 years old, who once shared that after her husband passed away, she barely cried. She stayed busy arranging the funeral, comforting her children, and returning to her daily routines. But months later, she began having trouble concentrating, lost her appetite, and didn't feel motivated to get out of bed. I don't understand what's happening, she said. But when we sat down together and talked, her tears finally came. It was the sorrow that had never been given space to exist. And when she finally allowed herself to feel, that was when true healing began. You may not realize it, but something as simple as writing down what you feel each night before bed, just one line, just one emotion, can be a way to stay connected to yourself. Because a person who doesn't regularly acknowledge their emotions will, over time, become a stranger to themselves. And when you no longer understand yourself, it's hard to understand others, to connect, to love, and to be loved. Emotions are not a burden. They are guidance. They tell you when you need rest, when you need change, when you need someone. And if you can learn to sit with uncomfortable feelings, like loneliness, anger, disappointment, rather than run from them, they will eventually soften and pass. Just like clouds, emotions come and go. All they need is space to exist. And no, you don't have to do it alone. Expressing emotions to someone else can make you feel vulnerable, even ashamed. But real connection always begins with vulnerability. No one expects you to be perfect, to be fine all the time. The people who care about you, whether friends, family, neighbors, or a community group, will feel the honesty in you. And that honesty is the strongest bridge between people. If you don't know where to start, try something small. Write a letter to an old friend you haven't contacted in a while. Or call a relative just to check in. And if even that feels too hard, try journaling. Just write down whatever is in your heart at that moment, without worrying about right or wrong. You're not writing for anyone else to read. You're writing to free yourself. And if you find yourself feeling too heavy, too tired, don't hesitate to seek professional support. There are counselors and therapists ready to listen without judgment. They're not just for people who are sick. They're for anyone who wants to understand themselves better, who wants to live life more fully. An elderly person once told me, "I think I'm too old to change." But the truth is, you're never too old to befriend yourself. And when you do, all your other relationships become easier. Warmth, empathy, the ability to forgive, it all starts with the relationship you build with yourself. Emotions are your inner compass guiding you toward truth, not enemies to hide. And when you have the courage to turn inward, you'll discover that within you still lies a soft, vibrant, and fully alive part, regardless of your age. Care for your emotional health just as you care for your heart, your lungs, or your skin. Because emotional well-being doesn't just help you live longer, it helps you live deeper, live truer, and live as the person you truly are. So, if you feel emotionally drained today, ask yourself, what's really going on inside me? You don't have to answer right away. Just listen. And that alone is the beginning of healing. If this message touched your heart, leave the number 3 in the comments below. It's a simple way for me to know that you're still here, still walking this journey, still open. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Because this journey, the journey of living better after 60, 70, or any age, is not one you have to walk alone. We're moving forward together, one step at a time, one mindful moment at a time. Saturday, keeping things inside. As you grow older, there's something that often happens, but rarely gets talked about. You begin to keep more things to yourself. Unspoken emotions, old sorrows, past wounds, matters you feel are too inconvenient to share, they gradually build up like fine dust in a closed room. No one sees it, no one hears it, but it quietly weighs down your spirit, and eventually your body begins to feel it too. And then one day, you suddenly feel tired without knowing why. I once spoke with an 82-year-old woman named Lon. She always seemed cheerful and gentle to everyone. But one afternoon, when no one else was around, she quietly sighed and said, "There are things I've kept in my heart for 30 years. At first, I thought I'd forget them, but the older I get, the clearer they become, like an old film that keeps playing over and over in my mind." That sentence stayed with me for a long time. Because as the body grows weaker, the mind becomes more sensitive to memories that were never healed. And when those memories are left unspoken, untouched by empathy or understanding, they can do more harm than you realize. Modern science has shown that suppressed emotions can increase the risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, chronic anxiety, and even depression in older adults. What you think is not worth mentioning, your body records with utmost seriousness. Your heart rate rises slightly when you recall a painful memory. Your breath becomes shallow when you try to swallow your frustration. Your muscles tense when you laugh off an insult. These are all real physiological responses, not just fleeting feelings as we often believe. So what's the solution? Does everyone need a therapist or someone to pour their heart out to? Not necessarily. Sometimes, the most important thing isn't whom you talk to, but whether you're willing to admit the truth to yourself. Writing down what's on your mind is a powerful form of healing, and many older adults around the world are doing it. All you need is a notebook and a pen to begin a new journey, the journey of releasing what has burdened your soul for years. Start with a letter you'll never send. Write to the person who hurt you, to your younger self, or to someone you lost but never got to say goodbye to. You don't have to write with perfect grammar. You don't need beautiful handwriting or eloquent words. Just be honest. And after writing, you can keep it or tear it up. What matters isn't the action, but the process of allowing yourself to feel and acknowledge your emotions. Another way to find release is to seek connection. Try sharing a little with someone you trust. It could be an old friend, a family member, or even a stranger in a community group. Some things you thought you could never say might surprise you once they're spoken. You might find someone nodding and saying, "I've felt that too." And in that shared understanding, you're no longer alone. More importantly, allow yourself to cry. Crying is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of courage. Crying means you're brave enough to let your feelings flow, instead of forcing them to be silent. A 75-year-old man once told me, "I cried once after my wife passed. Then I told myself I had to be strong. But the stronger I tried to be, the emptier I felt." It wasn't until he started journaling and sharing his feelings in a support group for widowers that he rediscovered his genuine smile. The sad truth is, many older people have gotten used to keeping it all in. They grew up in times when emotions were seen as secondary. But today, we know better. Emotions that aren't properly processed become invisible burdens. And eventually, the body reflects what the mind has been hiding through pain, insomnia, loss of appetite, or memory decline. Don't let unspoken emotions become ghosts that follow you each night. Create a space where you can breathe and live authentically. You don't need to resolve everything in one day. But you can start today, with a thought, a sentence, a quiet confession. Every small step is a way of caring for your own heart and soul. And remember, you deserve to be heard, to be understood, and to be healed, no matter your age or how much you've been through. Because peace doesn't come from ignoring our feelings. It comes from facing them and embracing them as a part of our life's journey. Not to be weak, but to be strong in a deeper way, strong from within. If you're still reading this and feel that it speaks to you, or someone you love, I invite you to leave a comment below with the words, "I'm here." It's not just a way to let me know you're listening, but also a message to yourself, "I'm ready to heal." And if these words resonate with you, don't forget to share them with others. Because sometimes, a short passage and a gentle bit of empathy can be exactly what someone needs to begin a new chapter, lighter, clearer, and more peaceful. When noise becomes an invisible ghost in the lives of the elderly. Imagine this. You wake up on a quiet Sunday morning. No alarm clock, no television sounds echoing from the living room, no traffic noise outside the window. Just natural sounds, the soft call of birds, the gentle breeze slipping through the window. In that moment, your body relaxes in a way you didn't expect, as if it's finally allowed to exhale after years of enduring constant noise that you once considered normal. Many older adults live in spaces that seem quiet, no construction sites, no loud parties, but are still heavily affected by subtle noise. The television running all day just to have someone talking in the house. The constant hum of an air conditioner. Or the most elusive form of noise, the busyness of one's own mind, a mind that's never been given permission to rest. Science is clear, even small but persistent sounds can activate the sympathetic nervous system, causing your heart rate to rise slightly, blood pressure to increase, and your body to remain in a prolonged, alert state. This makes sleep shallower, the mind more easily stressed, and even weakens the immune system over time. What's concerning is, you don't even realize it. Because your body has learned to endure. I once spoke to a 79-year-old man living alone. He didn't feel lonely, he said, but he kept the television on from 7 a.m. until late at night, as a habitual rhythm. It wasn't until a storm caused a blackout, and the room fell into complete silence, that he realized his mind hadn't been quiet in years. And that night, in that unexpected stillness, he slept soundly until morning without a single awakening. His story made me reflect on a quiet but profound truth. Silence is the forgotten nourishment of the elderly. It doesn't just help you sleep better. It provides a space for memory to recover, for inner peace to take root, and for your body to feel safe enough to begin healing from within. Try setting aside 1 hour a day, just 1 hour, to do nothing. No listening, no watching, no talking. Sit in natural light, step into the garden, or simply lean back in a chair and let silence touch you. You'll be surprised by the feeling of true rest, something people immersed in constant sound may have forgotten even existed. Nighttime light, the silent disruptor of your healing. Just like noise, light is an inseparable part of life. But light at the wrong time, especially artificial light at night, can be the silent reason why millions of older adults never feel fully rested. Our bodies have an internal clock, a sophisticated system that regulates sleep, digestion, hormones, and even immunity. And what sets this clock is the cycle of light and darkness. When night falls, the brain produces melatonin, the hormone of darkness, that helps us relax and drift into deep sleep. But when lights stay on, or screens emit blue light from TVs, phones, or ceiling lights, your body is tricked. It thinks day is still here and delays the entire recovery process. I once consulted an elderly woman in her 80s. She never turned off her nightlight for fear of tripping on her way to the bathroom. But her nightlight was white, mimicking daylight. When I suggested switching to an amber light and minimizing all light exposure after 9 p.m., within just 2 weeks, she found herself falling asleep faster and waking up less tired. She began taking light morning walks again, and her appetite, absent for years, started returning. Indeed, a little darkness can become a light for your health. And you don't have to live in pitch black. Just dim things down, like how twilight gently becomes night. Lower the lights before bed. Switch to warm yellow lighting. Avoid screens for 30 to 60 minutes before sleep. And if you need a nightlight, choose one with red or amber hues, colors that don't disrupt melatonin. You'll notice not just improved sleep, but better moods, sharper memory, smoother digestion, and stronger immunity. Not because you're sleeping more, but because your body is finally allowed to enter a deep healing state, a place where it can repair, regenerate, and recharge your life force. The power of gentle awareness. Both noise and light share a common trait. They're easy to overlook. They don't cause immediate pain. No flashing red warnings. Just slow erosion, bit by bit, until you can't even tell how much energy, peace, or years of life you've lost without truly feeling alive. But the beautiful thing is, everything can change. And that change doesn't start with a grand effort. It starts with gentle awareness, when you begin to notice what's draining your health, and you kindly choose differently. Maybe today, you'll try turning off the TV for an hour. Or tonight, you'll replace your nightlight with a softer glow. Maybe this weekend, you'll spend 10 minutes each morning doing nothing at all, just sitting and listening to your own heartbeat. These small actions, when repeated with kindness and consistency, hold invisible but powerful strength. Because that's how you tell your body, I'm listening. And your body, when listened to, will respond with a vitality you may have forgotten you could ever feel again. You don't need to change your entire life in one day. But if each day you change one small thing, turn off one noise, soften one light, you're slowly paving a path back to the deepest kind of health, peace of mind and healing from within. If you feel these words resonate with you, consider commenting the word peace below as a sign that you're still here, with us, on a shared journey of healing and living more meaningfully each day. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and bell icon. Not for numbers, but because every time you return, we gain one more reason to keep offering value and hope to each other. Thank you for your time. And remember, you are never too old to begin something beautiful for yourself, especially silence.